TheMikeMagazine.com, bringing you only the best exclusives and entertainment news.
In public service was key to us. And he taught me that the rent that you pay your every service that you need.
Where I work directly with the Delta Health Partners Healthy Start Initiative.
I don't have issues. I've got goals. Okay? My goal is get the roads.
The representative is to refine and rebuild District 31 into a district that will work for all of us.
Imagine moving Mississippi forward. Imagine that I am your state house representative. I am A.M. Lindsay, and I approve of this message. Thank you.
I've been a voice in this community for a long time. I fought issues with the county government, city government. I even had an opportunity to allow the city.
Mario, how you doing?
All right, how about you?
I'm doing fine. After seeing all of the candidates for District 31, what are you thinking now as a voter?
As a voter, I think that it's going to be a really tough. As a voter, I think it's going to be a really tough election because we have some great candidates. They are standing on some great issues. I feel like they're very knowledgeable. But one of the things that I would like to do is kind of sit down more and get some direct information from candidates where they stand on certain issues and how they feel and what they support.
I see you raise your hand. What was your question to the candidates?
How do they support low-income housing tax credits? Because in the Mississippi Delta, one of the biggest issues is affordable housing, and we need to get more housing in the Delta that is adequate for families that they can live prosperous and do the things that we want the Mississippi Delta to achieve.
For a reasonable price, right?
Yes,
Gotcha.
very, very true.
Because everybody don't have like that job, that dream job that they really want because of the economy here in the Mississippi Delta. So I think that's a great question. It's a reasonable question, and I want to know what it is they have to say about it. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
What was your question to the candidates as a member of the committee?
I asked what the candidates were going to do to address the disparity in public education funding because I teach in public schools. I've taught second grade for 4 years, and I think it's completely unacceptable that my students do not get a fair shake. They don't get enough money for their schools, and there are countless teachers. Every teacher in my school, they have to spend their own money. I spend 30, 40 extra bucks a month on my own classroom. Every teacher does it, and I don't think that's fair. I think the government should fund public education.
Do you think they
as
answered
they
your
should.
question to the fullest?
I think they did. I think that within the time frame, all of the answers might not have been as specific as we would have, preferred an actual policy proposal. But,
Hey, thank you so much, Jen. I listen to everybody in there, and I want to say this. It turns my stomach to hear people say, the Delta, we're dried up and things of that nature, because we're not victims here. How do you look at that?
I look at the Delta as a place for growth. We have opportunities here in the Delta. We are not poor. We are moving Mississippi forward. We are able to have economic development. We can grow Mississippi. We have to get out of the notion of poverty. We have to know that we are healthy people, that we can survive just as well as all
Why
of
should
the
we vote
others.
for you?
Why should you vote for me? Because I have a voice to carry for the people of the Delta, for District 31. I have a passion for this district. We can grow and rise with all of the other districts in Mississippi. We are who we are here and who God made us here, and by the grace of God, we can move forward. We don't have to stay stagnated.
Do you think it's necessary for our younger generation to leave and then come back and try to, or should we provide them with what they need in efforts to stay?
We should provide them with everything they need to stay, because as you look at the Delta, there's so many opportunities here. There's so many growth opportunities that we can, through our education system, if we learn to become skillful people, skillful workers, we can train one another to move and create better opportunities for the Delta.
Thank you. Mr. Molly, how are you today?
How you doing?
Listen, I understand that you're passionate about education here in District 31.
Right.
You were talking specifically about schools being rebuilt. Talk about what you've done already prior to trying to snag that position.
Okay, in 2013, 14, and 15, we got over 5,000 signatures signed to get the initial 42 on the ballot here in Sunflower County. And we got the initial on the ballot, in which we did. It'll become constitutional law where all the schools had to be fully funded here in the state of Mississippi. I'm talking about public schools. And it should have been enough money in there set aside right now. The state of Mississippi owes Sunflower County consolidated school district over $20 million.
Sunflower County alone?
Sunflower County alone.
Okay.
And if we would receive that money, that should be a good starting point so we can receive some money to initially get our schools built here in Sunflower
Quick
County.
question, do you have to build one school and then turn around a few years later and build another?
Yes, it's enough money in the United States Congress where we can get and go there and petition the Congress for money to get 2 new schools built here in Sunflower County because they send money all over the world so we can divert some of that money for new schools.
Why should we vote for you?
Why shouldn't? Because I'm the best person on the ballot. I've been a voice for this community for a long time, and I've been passionate about anything that I've tried to do. I've done a lot of work in this community. People's already familiar with my work, but I hope it translated for me being a voice in the capital and in the state of Mississippi for District 31.
Thank you. Jeanette Knighton, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I see you running for District 31, House District 31.
Yes.
I heard you say you're no stranger to the House because as a reporter for Fox, or where'd you work?
Fox 40 in
Fox
Jackson.
40 in Jackson. You know, you had to be there anyway, but there's a difference. What's the difference this time?
This time I stand on the other side of news.
Okay.
I become a reporter I want to report for the people of District 31. So I want to represent us in the House of Representatives as far as a voice in the Delta.
Why should we vote for you?
You should vote for me because I'm a passionate candidate with ears to hear the concern of the people. I'm implementing a plan that we can use to track progress. It's time for progress here in the Delta. I think that we look to the capital, the people that sits in the House to solve our problems when there's many resources in our area that we have not taken the advantage of.
What do you think about forming a coalition? I heard a lot of people saying something about forming a coalition.
Well, I really thank Sarah Thomas for her job. I thank her because she held a seat for District 31 for over 21 years. We was not putting people in and out of the House, so she has a legacy there, and I'm very thankful for her. Sarah presented over 400 bills. She fought for this area,
okay.
But Sarah had a different passion, and I think this is a new day and a new season, and we must have a different drive.
Thank you.
Angela Simpson here, the voice behind the mic.